Good morning. Oh, it's after 5 a.m. in the morning. I survived all the melee of St. Patrick's. It's only New Orleans. Well, you know, yes, New Orleans is loud. It's a party town, but I've been in places where St. Patty's was more of a powder keg than it is here, though. They're quite proud of their festivities on St. Patty's Day here, but it doesn't light a candle to other places like New York, Boston, Chicago. Those places really go off. Even more actually, obviously. So I'm off to do my civic duty. Gotta be there at 8:30. You know, I think at first I was like, yay, finally I get to do it. 40 years old, first time I've ever done jury duty. So I was raised by wolves, and most of my life I lived in the wild, you know, raw meat and all that. I just learned how to speak English about a year ago. So yeah, you know, I was like, oh, finally I get to do this. This is kind of interesting. But now, on the day that I have to go, I'm dreading the sheer boredom of it, because I'm starting to come to my senses and realize I'm going to be stuck in a room possibly full of people that are not going to really relate to me, or, you know, I'm not going to relate to them. They're all going to be dressed up either like they're going to Walmart or they're at church or something. You know, it's not a fucking wedding, and it's not even criminal court, civil court. So I don't know, it's not like I'm going to dress like I'm going to paint some house or something. I'm just going to put on some, I actually do own clothes that don't have paint on them, so put something on kind of nice, make sure my socks match and that I don't stink. So it's gonna last all week, possibly. It's supposed to. I mean, you never know what's gonna happen. I could get picked for something, and I could be stuck on it for a while, maybe not. But this is what I know. I know that it's probably gonna kill a whole week of work for me. Sucks. It's going to put stuff behind, but that's what that does. That's what doing your civic duty does to your life. You know, when you're called to do this stuff, I'm just going to have to find a way to get into it and, you know, turn it into a learning experience and enjoy it. People are going to hate me because I turn every conversation into a conversation about fishing. I think people hate that, but that's what I do. I'm like Fox News for fishing. I just spin everything a certain way. Not that I like Fox News, but I do spin everything towards fishing. Just like I wanted to do this blog this morning about how I'm going off to do my civic duty and da-da-da-da-da, and all I really want to talk about is the spring spawn and bluegills and catfish coming up, because that's right around the corner. But I think I'm going to stay on bluegills for a little bit and then catfish and carp and things like that in the river, because the river is coming up on my fishing blog. I kind of turned my back to it, tried it a little bit this winter, and it just was a no-go for me, and, you know, it was disappointment. And now I'm looking forward to it, to getting back to it. And you're going to be seeing a lot of videos on the river. Not too many in City Park after a certain point this year. I'll be back around there eventually, but I like big fish. I cannot lie. I like other big things too, but the river is a mystery. It just holds so many things that we don't know. We sleep in our beds at night while big fish roam the bottom out there. It's like 200 feet or more in certain places right out. Baseball hit from the house. You know, there could be that elusive 14-foot gar out there, 14-foot alligator gar. Huge flatheads underneath the wharf. Humongous blues. You know, bull shark come up into that river too. A lot of people don't know that, but they do. There's sturgeon. There are sturgeon. On the sturgeon catches is more common a little further north of where I'm at, but they are out there where I'm at. You can get them, it's just not all that common. You can't keep them, but they're out there. Certain time of year there's carp down where I'm at, just not so much when they're spawning. It's a little too brackish over here in this river because it's tidal. I'm supposed to be talking about civic duty. I'm talking about fish because that's all it is for me. Fish. It's all about fishing. I don't care about anything else. Well, that's not true, but eel. That's another thing to look forward to. The eel are going to be running up. The American Atlantic eel will be running up the river soon. Females, I hope to like my PB eel is like a 3-footer. They can get a little bigger than that. It's the female. The males tend to be a little smaller. I like them when you hit them and you're pulling them up. You can always tell you got an eel on because the line does this kind of stuff coming up. It's like a tight pirouette. It's like a corkscrew because the eel kind of corkscrews coming up. And then they wrap all around you and around your line. It's always a spaghetti mess, but nice slimy little things. They taste alright. I don't really plan on eating a lot of my catches this year. It can be a lot of a lot of catch and release for the most part. I think the only thing I'm going to be doing over in the park is bluegill and cichlid and maybe one more carp session before it gets hot. The goal with carping this year is the river, and you'll be seeing me up barking tree spider. Be up on them Gaspergoo up at Audubon Park. Hope to get to Bonacary on the river up at the spillway and Bonacary spillway. Oh, you have to excuse all my pauses. I'm not really awake yet, and I gotta get my ass in gear. Buffalo. You can go target some largemouth buffalo up in the spillway. Paddlefish Lake. Bonacary spillway is this huge area for the river to spill into, to flow into Lake Pontchartrain. And within that, the spillway, there is contained a series of ponds and ditches, canals, and they all have different names. And Paddlefish Lake is the one that I can remember at the moment. There's a number of ponds and lakes, and they're all of different sizes and shapes. Paddlefish Lake is named that because it has a lot of spoonbill in it, a lot of spoonbill catfish, paddlefish. And then it does have a lot of carp, not just in Paddlefish Lake, but Paddlefish Lake is known for good catches on buffalo and commons. Now there are grass carp in the spillway, and they're supposed to be, I haven't heard too many confirmations of this, they're supposed to be the two that we call Asian carp, the silver and the big head, silverhead and big head carp are supposed to be there, but I haven't heard a serious confirmation. It's just another carp that is around. They're just not real common. The black carp looks like a grass carp. And they're down here. You could get those, but probably more likely in the river. And they're not well known. A lot of people don't even realize they're here, and nobody knows what number. Nobody really has any information on them, because not too many studies have been done to determine how many black carp we have. There's only been a handful of confirmed catches on black carp in the States, and most of the catches have been in the Arkansas or the Missouri and the southern portion of the Mississippi. But for unconfirmed catches, most of the unconfirmed catches are down here in Louisiana in the Mississippi River, especially between New Orleans and Baton Rouge. But that's unconfirmed. Cotton nets and caught by recreational anglers. They can get big. Buck grassies, that sounds like fun. Alright, I'm starting to prattle along. I need to get going. Civic duty. I wish it wasn't a room full of people with their fancy shoes on. I'm going to have to make up my mind about my shoes this morning. I have too many to choose from, but I'm going to try and wear a pair that doesn't have mud on them. You have to look at my Mr. Rogers clothes and decide what I want to do. I want to just be Mr. Rogers, or kind of New Orleans swarmy, or whatever. I don't really care. I think I'm just gonna put something on and look halfway decent, respectable, or whatever. But I wish I could bow out and say, how about I go out and pick up trash in the park instead, because I think I'm going to be way too bored. Well, I'm going to bring the laptop, and I'm going to look at fishing videos all day. That's what I'm going to do. I might talk to you a little bit more, if you'll listen. So here's the civic duty. Good morning. Bye.